What's up, Mego Like Geeks and Freaks? Welcome. Ooh, shaking the table today. Welcome to my Mego Like channel. I want to start off, first of all, and say a big thank you to friend and fellow toy collector, Johnny MIB Master Toy Museum, Shedrick. Johnny has, not only the toy collecting, has given me some wonderful inspiration, but on a personal level, Johnny is doing some changes in his life that I found have worked very well for me so far, and I'm going to continue them. And Johnny's been inspirational in helping me stick to those, which has been fantastic. All right, anyway, let's see what we got for you today. So today, even though we haven't been here for a while, I went down to a place called Comic Relief in Toms River. I said to my daughter, let's go to the comic shop today. We haven't done anything like that in a little while. And she said, great, can we go to Zap? And I said, yeah, we could go to Zap. Zap's up north a little bit. I said, we could do that. I said, it's mostly comics, and they have some toys and stuff, but some of their stuff is not so old. It's a little bit more box stuff that's probably 20 years plus. I like stuff that goes back towards older, early 80s, 70s, sometimes 60s. So we decided to go to Comic Relief in Toms River. I know some of the guys that are in our group, Mego Like, on Facebook have been there as well, because I've seen posts, and they're very, very nice. I usually see the same employee there. She's very nice as we come in, and she's very helpful, and it was very especially helpful today. So I'm walking through the store, and I came across many displays. They wound up rearranging the store the last couple of months, and I love it even better than it did before. It's definitely more dynamic, and it reminds me of an old mom and pop toy store, comic book shop. Lots of toys. I would tell you, like, normally I go to a comic book shop, maybe it's 50-50, maybe it's 30-70. This place has got to be 70-30 in the other direction of toys and so on. Some of the stuff's newer, but a lot of stuff's older, but they had some really cool stuff today. So I was looking, going through, and I found some really neat stuff. A couple things I found. Let me go into the basics, and then I'll show you the really cool stuff. The first thing, and yes, I was pouring through the dollar bins. I am not necessarily a comic book collector. I do enjoy purchasing comic books, usually reader grade copies. I enjoy looking at the old artwork. I enjoy looking at the ads inside of it, you know, the kinds of things that they used to sell, the way life was back in the day that you just don't have that today. And kids actually enjoyed reading them. But I picked up this Super Friends copy. It only cost me $1. It's definitely a reader's copy. Love they've got Superman right on the front. My company is renting out the entire AMC theater on July 11th to premiere Superman Legacy, if you will, as a special event for our clients for free. It's got Batman on there. We've got, looks like Hawkman. I don't know all these characters. Wonder Woman. I don't know who this dude is down here. I don't know. It looks like he's got spikes on his head and some leopard leotard. Don't know who it is, but it's pretty cool. You got the Spalding ad on the back. And if you watch Caddyshack, Spalding, $20 as the Spalding kid picks his nose. All right, here we go. Superman's bargain counter. I mean, these ads were just priceless for back in the day. So I got that for $1. I figured I'll just poke through that. It's also great. I bought some comic book frames, and I'll hang them on the wall. Just a little nostalgia upstairs in the Hall of Heroes, or the Closet of Chaos, as some of us call. And on leaving, she also presented us with 2 items. One was this Connect Batman September 2025. It's a whole Batman, I guess, comic, if you will. It's got the Superman ad on the back, which I think is pretty cool. And it's just got all kinds of neat information on Batman, some of his outfits and so on. And I was probably going to send this to Max, but I'm going to hold on to it for that, Max, so I'll let you know. But the other thing that was cool, which I thought was interesting, was this one, Deadpool and Batman, which I thought was interesting. I'm like, I always find it interesting when I see a combination, when they put things with Batman, or sorry, they put DC and Marvel. I don't see it too much because I'm not a comic book expert in any way whatsoever. This one's actually got some really cool stuff inside. I'll definitely want to keep this. I know some of the guys out there can talk to how they did some of the crossovers, I guess, with the 2 comics and so on. But just thought that was pretty cool. All right, let me show you 3 other things real fast. One, I don't think I showed this. This is some parts I got. I forgot I actually got them. Got them months ago. I got them for, I think, $12 plus shipping. I don't know if I did this before, but I'm excited because in this part lot was an LJN Mr. Action machete. which goes with the LJ and Mr. Action Jungle ATV, that green car that's really too small for him. It looks like a car from the Banana Splits, but it also had the spear gun. Now, the tip is broken off, just the tip, Brian Sanchez, don't forget. But if you see, it has these pegs on the side, because this is actually, one of them broke, the other one's here, but this is for the Land Sea Sled, and it snaps in to the blue Land Sea Sled, which is a ripoff of the G.I. Joe Sea Sled, if you will. It actually has an official Hasbro, it's marked on it, G.I. Joe Maps container. And then I've got some knockoff stuff. I forgot what this was for. Actually, Dan Samillo told me. I forgot. I got to ask him again. But I thought that was, it's a knockoff. He knows. There's, looks like, I think, yeah, these look like knockoff flare guns, probably Mr. Action. This would be an official G.I. Joe flare gun, a little bit of paint missing. And then we've got some various hand grenades and so on. And I have to go through and see if they're two different kinds. It's a little hard to show you here, but I think one's actually G.I. Joe, and I think the other one's probably Mr. Action, but there's a difference even in color and so on. So anyway, I was excited to get those for 12 bucks. Those machetes and these parts to these Mr. Action vehicles are very hard to find. Sometimes I just buy broken ones to get the pieces. And I think they're really cool, and I actually enjoy them. All right, so let me show you what I got today. You're gonna be like, you bought that today? The answer is yes. You're going to see in a moment. I'm first gonna start off with a little swag of the sponsored by, well, not sponsored by Red Bull. Sugar-free nonetheless. All right, let me turn the camera on and we'll show you guys what we got here. Let's do a little camera turn. Oh, it's not gonna let me turn the camera on. All right, well, that sucks. So we'll do it this way. All right, here's what I saw today in the case. And I was like, all right, Mego. Now listen, I'm gonna start this off by saying, one, I don't like new Mego products very much. I think they break. I think they fall apart in the boxes. They fall in the bubbles. I don't think they're well made. I don't think the company has good customer service. I don't think the guys that run it do a very good job. And I think you've got a bunch of people that zombie after them thinking that they're going to recapture the nostalgia of their younger years and get all those figures they didn't have, which is fine. You're welcome to do that, of course. That's your choice and you're collecting. However, I don't think they're very much a company that likes to take care of their customers. But what I saw was two. They were actually priced the same, and I don't think the guy that was there, I don't know if he knew that these were actually different. So the first thing I looked at when I saw, it's actually it's in excellent shape. He had a bunch of figures in there. There's a little bit of something on there. It looks like somebody maybe put a sticker or something, which we'll get that off of there. But it's actually in quite good shape. We have a dreadful Dracula, a little bit of hair rubs on the head and on the eyebrow. But if you look, it's a Type 1 monster hand. These are original Megos, and although I don't collect many original Megos other than Flash Gordon, the 1 million BC, some Little Rascals, just a few pieces, I said, you know what? That wasn't bad. The price was okay. I didn't think the price was amazing, but he is in really good shape. He's complete, and I said, okay, no broken joints as far as I could tell. Actually, I didn't even test it. Probably should have. Watch it snap. No, it did not. Okay, so we're in good shape. He has his shoes and all. And then I looked at the other one, and let's see if you guys can spot the difference as I bring him up. Some of you who are so-called experts should notice probably pretty quickly. This is the other one. He's actually different. No, he's not smooth-haired. No, he's not red-haired. Suffers a little bit from the same paint rubs. Has his shoes. He definitely has a good outfit. Matter of fact, this one actually has a little bit of a stain on it right here. There's a little stain on there, which I think we can probably get out. We'll be very gentle about doing that, but can you spot the difference with this one? Should I give you a hint? That's right, that's a Type 2. That's a Type 2 monster hand. So if you take a look at the difference, you can see this one's kind of got these glowing claw hands, if you will. And then we've got basically what is pretty much a regular Mego hand. I never owned a T2 monster, but pretty much a glow-in-the-dark regular Mego hand. Now, just to make sure I'm not crazy, and I don't know, they actually gave me the doll stands with it, which I was like, oh, I didn't know you get those too. Bonus! Yes! Bonus time. I hate to do this, but just want to, yeah. So I just want to make sure it was an original Mego body, because it does say Mego, made in Hong Kong, which is good. I want to make sure it wasn't somebody swapped on a They're a classic TV Toys body, but came with the doll stands. They're both the exact same price. And I know the Type 2 monsters are usually a bit of a bitch to get. I wouldn't say, I don't know if they're rare, I don't know if they're hard to find, but the Type ones are usually what I see out there, and I've never owned one before, so I said, fuck it. We got the monster section back here. It's a nice and they did have some other cool monster toys. If you remember, in fact, they had the Tower of Fear out. They had a few other pieces over there. So we're going to put these guys in there. I do not own any other Mego monsters. Will I buy them? I don't know. They did have the Wolfman. He was actually, to me, a bit overpriced. These might have been overpriced. I don't think the Type 2 was. I think the Type 1 might have been. But he is complete. Usually he's got fraying or missing his shoes or missing the cape or something. But I thought that was pretty cool. So that was the big win for today, if you will. That was our big win of the day, was this wonderful Mego Dreadful Dracula figures. This was, I can tell you, being a kid, I remember I had G.I. Joe. I loved G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was one of my favorites. I had the $6 Million Man. I never really got any extra characters. Like, I had $6 Million Man, but I never got Oscar Goldman. I never got Bigfoot. I never got Jamie Summers or any of that stuff. Just had the $6 Million Man. I had 1 or 2 G.I. Joes, and I used to tie strings to them with paper towels and see if I could parachute them out the window. I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 years old, so don't judge. But I do remember Mego Dracula was one of the first ones I had. There was Batman, there was Robin, I had Joker, never had Penguin, never had Riddler, never had Catwoman, no female figures. I also had, I think I had no, I didn't even have Captain America. I do have a Captain America upstairs and Spider-Man. Thank you to Dan Samillo for the Captain America, by the way. But yeah, but these are original Megos. I do like a lot of the original Megos. I'm sorry, I do like some of the original Megos, not all, but I sold off most of them years ago. Definitely got rid of all the new Mego figures, which I just don't like the quality of them. I really don't. I think they're pretty much just garbage. They just fall apart in the package. The arms are breaking, and I guess I don't understand when that happens, why you'd get comments from people in their company or comments from people who also collect and say, well, what are you going to cry about it? I mean, like, people are looped in the head. They're toys people, you know? Something, if you buy something that breaks, you have a right as a consumer to voice your concerns and ask for a refund or a return, unless it says absolutely no refunds or returns. And instead of getting some kind of, oh, that should have happened, we're sorry, we need to look into that, you just get like, go fuck yourself. So what are you gonna do? At least that's the experience I've seen so far, which is one of the reasons probably why our group grows so big, because people are starting to get mistreated, I think. But anyway, let's go back to here, shall we? So original Mego products, very nice. Nice Type 2 and Type 1. You see the difference in there. So again, I don't know if I'll be buying any more of these. Maybe one day if I see them from here or there, I'll pick them up. Maybe I will. Sometimes I get the bug and off I go. I did really enjoy oh, actually, I did have Dracula and I had Frankenstein as a kid. I remember the Frankenstein because I remember the face with the mouth down. Never had the Mummy, and I never had the Wolfman. But, I should say as a kid, but I did collect them at some point when I got older. So there you have it for today. Nice little walk into the past. Some Mego Draculas, some old G.I. Joe, and knockoff pieces. Oh, actually, I remember what this, actually, I just remembered. I remember. This sword here, I think Samillo said this goes to a Marx figure. I don't remember. I got to ask him again. I might be wrong. And then, of course, just this wonderful reader's copy of the Super Friends, which I'll probably frame it and put upstairs. I just like the look of it. And then, of course, these 2 freebies here with Batman and Deadpool, which I thought were great. All right. Anyway, again, thank you to everyone for watching. I appreciate you guys checking in. If you want to like and subscribe, great. If you don't, no worries. It's okay. It's free world, baby. Free world. Do what you like. But please make sure you check out some of the other great channels out there. MIB Master Toy Museum, Johnny Shedrick. Open by Chance Vintage Toys, David Eon. And LPH, Miss Lady Pop Hunter. Amazing, who are undergoing a move of the Open by Chance Toy Gallery from one home to another, and they have gone from this big place to this really big place, and they literally have a walkthrough. So you guys should charge money for the museum walkthrough. But really cool stuff going on there, and I really like what those guys do. And Johnny's a great guy, love him to death. David and LPH, great people, love him to death. Don't forget Dr. Durant's Sanctum with, yes, the one and only Richard Hurley. Excellent channel, excellent content. Rich spends a tremendous amount of time making quality videos, and he goes into a lot of detail. He puts a lot of thought into it, and at least I think he does, or he's got us all fooled. No, he puts a lot into it. He does a really good job, and I love what he puts together. So go check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe to all these channels. Who else am I missing? Because every time I get stuck like this and I get on the spot, I forget. Oh, there's so many people who have so many good channels. Shit. Forgive me. There's other people that have great channels. Please like and subscribe to them too. I'm just drawing a blank right now. Also, make sure you check out our Facebook group, Mego Like, and a lot of good people doing videos on there. Mr. Max Overnighter, or Maximus Overnightus, if you will. There's a lot of lives. Max is an excellent and incredibly collector of Batman items. I just shipped Max a poster that we found on Marketplace, and it's going out in a big box. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that it makes it on time, because I can't wait to see Max's face when he gets it. I think he's gonna really like it. Very, very cool item. What else do we have? Oh my God, there's so much cool stuff out there. You go into our group, you can see some of the customs and the artwork, and from Tony May, Mitch Castillo. Oh my God, there's so many other guys that do it. There's so many quality and talented customers. Chad Gordy, forgive me. There's so many guys. Damon Carter, and there's more. So forgive me, guys, if I didn't mention your name. It's not because you're not important. It's just it's not easy doing all this shit and trying to run a house with my daughter single, or taking care of my daughter singly, and the business. But great guys in there. We also have a website, mymegolike.com. There's 200 plus pages of content of various action figures, and there's other stuff in there too, mostly action figure stuff or play sets and so on. And you could actually pretty much see everything in the Toy Room of Solitude there, if you will. We'll probably do a walk in the Toy Room of Solitude in a little bit, maybe in a couple of weeks. I got a few things I need to clean up, a few things I need to take care of and get done. But yeah, it's quite the hoarding, or the hoarders space here, if you will. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are enjoying. 4th of July is coming up. If you celebrate, great. I hope you guys have a very safe 4th of July, even though we'll probably talk about more stuff before then. But hope you have a great 4th of July, and see you soon. Peace.